All right, guys, I'm here with Chris, and we're in the
What up?
Hollywood Hills right now. And we were actually at one of our friends' house. I mean, more Chris's friend's house, but I know him too, one of our mentors. And we're just hanging out right now, having a walk, beautiful day. And we wanted to talk about the power of communication skills and how it can get you to a position where you can have anything you want, all the money you want, all the girls you want. And as you know, I came here like a few days ago for a boot camp that I was hosting in LA. But now that the boot camp is over, I'm hanging out with my friends like Chris. Chris is actually my business partner right now. We met each other about 8 years ago in Montreal, and he was one of my best wingmen back in the day in Montreal. And we were, doing a lot of seminars in Montreal, organizing a lot of meetups, organizing boot camps back in the day. And now, through the years, we've invested in ourselves. We've gone through a lot of programs together. We've coached so many clients together. And now, we're able to travel the world and do this full time. And the only reason why we're doing this right now, and the only reason why we're at this position where we can travel the world and coach hundreds of clients every single year is because we've invested in ourselves, we've put in the work, and we've been able to learn communication at such a high level that we can just do anything we want, we can manifest everything we want into our lives and just crush it. So we're gonna show you exactly how to do this today and how to live a life that's on your terms and get anything you want in life.
So the first thing you have to be aware of is basically other people's realities. What are other people's desires? What are their fears? What are their issues? What do they want? And basically you want to think about how do you get that for other people? Because when you become the source of value, the source of reduction of pain, just making things easy for people, making things easy for people to give you what you want, then it just happens more often, right? Just as a natural consequence of that. So you want to be always thinking like, not in like a manipulative way, just in a way of just genuinely giving value. It's just genuinely caring about other people. And then you're like, okay, well, who are the people that I want in my life? How do I get them what they want? And as a result, as just a natural consequence, you're going to get what you want. You're going to get invited to, if it's your thing, Hollywood parties. You're going to get invited to, I know, Limo parties in Dubai. It's been a minute since I've been in Dubai. Top clubs. You're going to get invited on dates. Girls invite us on dates, by the way. Like, girls will ask to pay for us to bring us out, right? Like it happens. It's not, not always, but generally I would prefer to pay. But like, girls will be trying to get into your life, into your reality. They'll be sliding into your DMs. They'll be trying to get into your party. And that's really the ideal situation and position that you want to be in. And that comes as a result of thinking about what do other people want and how do I get it for them?
Yeah, I think most people, subconsciously or not, like whether they do it subconsciously or not, they're a bit like, they have this mindset of like value leeching. They want to get the most out of somebody without giving anything in return. Like they want to get the thing, they want to get the hot girl without giving the hot girl enough value for her to justify, being with them. And I think, Charlie Munger said this, a long time ago, like success is for people who deserve it. You can only be successful if you deserve it. And I think a lot of guys, they don't necessarily deserve success because they're not giving enough value or they're not valuable enough. So as Chris said, first you need to have the mindset of like, how can I make myself valuable to people so that other people can give me what I want? And I think a lot of guys just think the wrong way. They want to get the value without being valuable themselves, either in terms of skills, in terms of intellectual resources, financial resources, social resources. So I think at first it starts with yourself by being a resourceful person, by gathering as much resources as possible so that you can have that value exchange, that value arbitrage. Because if you don't have anything to bring to the table, then how do you expect people to give you something back? So, yeah, success, you can only get success if you deserve it, and you're not going to get success if you don't deserve it. Now, you can be delusional for a short time, but ultimately, you need to be valuable, and it starts with yourself. But always have the mindset of like, how can I give? Not how can I get? And when you give, you get back. But first, give value, and then you'll receive value back. But always come from that position.
Yeah. And basically, you want to think about this in terms of like, it's the same way as making money, right? So you can bootstrap social success in the same way you can bootstrap your finances, right? Like there are some of the people here, as you can see here, we're just above Beverly Hills. I believe we're at Hollywood Hills looking over Beverly Hills, and there's some incredible compounds and estates and mansions and what have you. But the thing you want to realize is that not everyone was born a billionaire or some kind of trust fund baby and just really had everything given to them. Sometimes, like, and especially like my friend who I'm living with here, you can bootstrap your way up, right? Like you don't have to start out as like some fancy investor or mogul or whatever, like be born into whatever family. You can just start as a normal worker. And then you want to get into entrepreneurship. And then once you have a ton of capital, then you want to reinvest that. And then after that, you can get into philanthropy, and then you get in all these crazy places in like Monaco and whatever, because you're like some fancy philanthropist and you get invited to crazy parties and whatever, right? But that's not necessarily possible if you're just working at Starbucks. But in the similar way, you can just start with your raw skills, raw social skills. Like you don't have to have this massive network, which might be a little bit more of the entrepreneur or investor side of things, right? Like a Dan Bilzerian or someone like that, or like a Hollywood celebrity, many of which live within a stone's throw of where we stood. Many of these people have incredible networks and they built up to that, but you don't necessarily have to start with that. You can just find ways similar to the kind of the worker who's just making an hourly wage, or the entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you can find a crack in the dam socially, right? And you can build up to being that, that philanthropist socially, right? Who's just introducing people to each other, and places like this where there are these crazy parties that you see every day here in the Hollywood Hills and over in Beverly Hills. And it's because people have built up these networks, but it didn't necessarily start that way for them. It did for some, but it didn't necessarily. And that's what we've done, is we've built up from raw social skills. It's not from having a ton of money, from having just millions to blow on crazy parties and paying promoters and all this stuff. It's not from being born into a super well-connected family or a super rich family or prestigious or famous family. It's just from raw social skills. And we're on that path too. And you can get on that path too right now.
Yeah. And I think, I've noticed I've noticed your rise to the top, quote unquote, where, back in the day, you were always willing to work for free for people, assist people for free, do free events, free calls, free stuff. And I think in the beginning, if you're not, if you don't come from a prestigious background or from a wealthy family, that's how you should start, by just, humbling yourself, finding someone that you just have to do this, guys. Like, find someone who lives the life you want to live, either pay them money or work for them for free to learn. And then once you have that, then you can start getting leverage, because now you become valuable to them and now you can learn and ascend. But if you come from nothing, then that's the only way to do it. You find someone that you aspire to be, and then you either work for free or pay them money to be where they want to be. And it might take years, but the sooner you start, the better. And you gotta always make yourself better, because that's the key. You attract what you are, and success can only be given to you if you become the type of person who deserves it. You don't get to be a millionaire. You become the type of person who attracts millions by being that type of person, like by being valuable.
So Limo touched on leverage points, and that's basically exactly what I'm talking about. If you want to be strategic in your social life, in your business life, in your dating life, or even just skill building, right, of any kind, you want to pick the highest leverage point that is available to you at any point. You don't want to be, if you sort of not completed a level necessarily, but like if you've kind of somewhat mastered a skill set, 70 or 80%, you don't necessarily need to be going as hard on that if there are higher levels available to you, right? So what I'm saying sounds a bit abstract, but let's say you learn how to just meet strangers on the street, in cafes, in parties. If you have those raw social skills and you've kind of gotten a decent foundation, then start throwing parties, then start going to networking events that, the people that are running it. Start running business conferences with people that you know. Start running public speaking events if that's your thing, and start skill building with other people, and get higher and higher leverage points. And then once you've done that, maybe there are higher leverage points, right? So you always want to be thinking like, what's the most efficient and effective action that I can take? Is it investing in a skill? Is it investing in a relationship? Is it investing in a network? Is it investing in a program, or whatever it may be? And then always be going to that most efficient point. I mean, obviously you want to be enjoying life as you're going along with that. It's not all just like about gaining power and status and being some kind of clout chaser. But I mean, as far as the skill building side of this goes, you do want to be thinking like, okay, is this the best use of my time? Like, is going to a cafe, or like people who like walk around the mall, meeting people, okay, that's cool. But like, would you be better equipped to go to the mall, or maybe go to like a highly curated party, or a highly curated entrepreneurs meetup, or some kind of like for musicians, go to like a jam with like some of the top musicians in the country, or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same in business. I mean, you can either not waste your time, but invest your time like talking to people one-on-one in cold DMs or whatever, or you can post a really good piece of content that can make thousands of views and people can see you like that. Or you can, for example, instead of, meeting women one-to-one, you throw a party and then you meet all these women all together, and then you leverage your time. But all these things, I mean, at the end of the day, as Chris said, it's really about leveraging those raw social skills, communication skills. Now, myself, I think now in this digital age and in this day and age, one great way to leverage your social skills, for example, if you're good at this, is to actually do podcasts. Like, for example, myself, if I wanted to network with like a guy who I want to network with in my city, let's say I want to network with another entrepreneur, I would, for example, propose to him a podcast or an interview that would give him content, and I would just set it up for him. I would book the studio, I would get the camera equipment, etc., and I would value arbitrage like that. Like, I provide content to him and to myself. I provide visibility, attention, eyeballs to him, and in exchange, I'm building that connection with him. But you can do that with hot girls too. For example, yesterday we went to a party and we met some of these girls, and at some point, once we built rapport and, attracted them in some way, we started proposing an after party, and they were hungry. And one of the value proposition was, okay, yeah, we're going to grab some food. We have some wine. We have a villa. We have a car. We can get to the villa in the Hollywood Hills. So we're giving value to them. And in exchange, they're coming, they're having a great time, and they're going to provide, fun, whether it might be whatever, sex, whatever. But it's always a value exchange, you always have to come with some value, something you can offer. So that's just one example. But yeah, you need to find those leverage points, instead of, for example, doing only organic, maybe throw a little bit of money on ads, throw a little bit of money on partnerships, stuff like that. So you can really maximize your reach and get to the top faster. So that's just one example.
So Harvard Business School, probably the most prestigious business school on earth, conducted a study where they found that the number one factor in determining an individual's business or professional success was their communication skills. So if you're trying to get the attention of popular, attractive people, you're going to realize that they have the most demand on their attention out of any demographic in the world, right? So if you can get their attention and hold it, you can get anyone's. So if you don't get this handled, the opportunity will be gone forever. So click the link below to apply for a complimentary consultation call with one of us or a member of our team. So on this call, we're going to find out what are the roadblocks that are preventing you from living your dream social life, business life, and dating life. And we're also going to figure out what that dream dating life is, what that dream social life and business life and professional life is based on your social skills. And then we're going to craft a custom plan so that you can finally live it, right? So our systems are for entrepreneurs and they're by entrepreneurs. We have optimized this to getting you a return on your time investment. We know that your time is the most precious asset. But these calls are limited and our calendar only has so many slots. So click the link below to apply right now.
And guys, you've probably seen our videos. You've seen videos online about dating. You've been involved into this whole dating stuff for a while. And you feel like, you can do better. If you're watching this video, you probably feel like you can do better. You can have better girls. You can have a better dating life, better communication skills. You can make more money. But there's like this glass ceiling just holding you back. You just know you can do better, but you don't know how you can get there. And so if you want to have a tailored game plan to get there based on your unique situation, your unique age, your unique city, then we can help you get there in a very personalized way. So book a call below and let's crush it together.